How is it possible to work every single day, earn a paycheck, and still feel like you're going nowhere financially? It's not because you're lazy. It's not because you don't make enough. It's because the moment that money hits your account, something happens. A silent force takes over. You tell yourself, I deserve this. It's only a little, just one thing. And before you even realize it, a small $28 decision starts a chain reaction that quietly drains your future. It's not a luxury car, not some lavish vacation. It's a dinner here, a delivery there, a subscription you don't use, a random gadget that ends up in a drawer. It doesn't feel like much, but that's the trap. That's exactly how it works. These small, invisible leaks in your wall don't cause panic, they don't raise alarms, they feel harmless, but they are slowly, steadily bleeding you dry. There's a reason so many people stay stuck in the same cycle for years. They work hard, they earn more, but their bank account stays the same, or worse, shrinks, because it's not about income, it's about behavior, and behavior is shaped by habits, habits built on emotion. On the desire for comfort, on the lie that just one more little thing won't make a difference. But here's the truth. Every dollar you spend is a vote for your future, or against it. The brain is wired to chase instant gratification. A small reward now feels better than a big reward later. That $28 meal gives you a dopamine hit. It feels good, it distracts you, but it comes at a cost, not just to your wallet, but to your potential. To your peace of mind, to your ability to escape the rat race and build something real. And what makes this habit so dangerous is that it's invisible. You don't see it piling up in your garage. You don't see it on your shelf. You don't feel it in your hands. You just wake up, paycheck after paycheck, wondering where your money went. You convince yourself you need a better job. You believe the problem is not enough income. But that's not the truth. The truth is, your future is being robbed in small increments. And the thief is disguised as convenience, as ease, as comfort. This is what KevinOLeary calls death by 1,000 cuts. Because it's never the big purchases that destroy your financial future. It's the small, repeated ones you barely notice, the ones you justify, the ones you forget 5 minutes after making them. And that's exactly why so many people never break free. Because no one teaches us that wealth isn't built in giant leaps, it's built in silent choices, quiet decisions, the discipline to say no to short-term pleasure so you can say yes to long-term freedom. If you've ever looked at your bank account and felt confused, if you've ever asked yourself, why am I still broke when I'm working so hard, then you need to understand this. You're not failing because of what you don't know. You're failing because of what you keep doing without even thinking. But here's the opportunity. Once you see it, you can stop it. Once you realize that every $28 choice is a building block, or a wrecking ball, you can take control. You can build wealth on purpose. You can redirect every careless expense into something meaningful, into growth, into investments, into options, into a life where money works for you, not the other way around. That's what this is really about, not just saving money, not just cutting back, but reclaiming control. Because every dollar you waste is a little more of your time, your energy, your life being sold off for nothing in return. The reward for breaking this habit, it's not just more money, it's more freedom. It's walking through life without financial stress crushing your chest. It's knowing that your future is secure, not because you got lucky, but because you made the right choices, one moment at a time. Stay with this, because once you understand how deep this habit runs, and how simple the shift really is, you won't just stop being broke. You'll start becoming unstoppable, and it all starts the moment you decide, no more silent leaks. No more $28 lies. My money works for me now, so why do we keep doing it? Why do we keep making the same choices that hold us back, over and over again? Because comfort is seductive, familiar, it feels safe. The moment you get paid, your brain lights up with possibility, and instead of asking, what can I build with this, you ask, what can I enjoy right now? That shift in mindset is everything. It's the difference between staying stuck and moving forward. The difference between someone who survives and someone who thrives. Most people don't even realize they're trapped, because the trap is padded with comfort, it's masked by culture, the world tells you to spend. It celebrates indulgence. You see it every day. On your phone, on your feed, in your inbox. You're bombarded with messages that convince you you're missing out unless you buy something. And slowly, you start to believe it. But here's the truth. Comfort is a cage, and every unnecessary purchase, every impulse swipe, every treat yourself moment adds another bar. You don't need more stuff, you need more control, and control doesn't come from saying no to everything. It comes from saying yes to something bigger. It comes from deciding that your future matters more than a temporary high, that your peace of mind is worth more than a new pair of shoes, that your freedom is more important than fitting in. Think about it. How many times have you bought something that made you feel good for an hour, but left you with regret for a week? How many times have you looked at your bank balance and thought, where did it all go? It didn't disappear. It was traded, spent on moments that faded, on things that didn't move you forward, on habits that kept you in the same place, and yet you still chase it, that fleeting satisfaction, because it's easy. Because it's fast, because in a world full of noise and stress, buying something feels like taking control. But that's an illusion. Real control is silent, it's invisible, it's saying no when no one's watching. It's choosing discipline over distraction. It's the quiet power of living with intention. You've been told that budgeting is boring, that saving is restrictive, that investing is complicated. But here's what they don't tell you: discipline is the highest form of self-respect. It's not about punishment, it's about priority. It's saying, I deserve better than this cycle, and then doing something about it. Every time you get paid, you have a choice. You can let your emotions guide your spending, or you can let your purpose guide your growth. One path leads to regret, the other to results. The people who win financially don't always make more. They just think differently. They don't chase shiny things. They build solid foundations. They don't impress strangers. They invest in their future. They don't escape pressure. They rise above it, and you can too, because wealth isn't just money, it's mindset, it's ownership. It's the power to choose your life instead of being ruled by your cravings. Let that sink in. Your cravings are costing you your calling. When you're constantly reacting, buying out of stress, boredom, envy, you're not leading your life. You're following impulses, and those impulses are expensive. But the moment you pause, the moment you ask, is this choice helping me or holding me back? Everything changes. You start living with clarity, with purpose, with power. That's how transformation begins. Not in giant leaps, but in daily decisions, quiet acts of defiance against a culture that wants you broke and distracted. You were not born to be stuck in survival mode. You were not made to work endlessly just to break even. You were built for more, built to rise, built to break patterns and rewrite the story. It starts with one habit, one choice, one paycheck. That's all it takes to begin. Because the truth is, you don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. You don't need a miracle. You need a mindset. And if you're tired of feeling like your money disappears, if you're ready to stop being broke in spirit and in pocket, then stop trading your power for a quick dopamine hit. Stop letting $28 control the direction of your life. Start asking different questions. Start making better trades. Trade impulse for impact. Trade distraction for discipline. Trade a fleeting comfort for lasting control. Because the real reward isn't just a bigger bank balance. It's a better life. A life where you walk with confidence, sleep without stress, and build a future you're proud of. This is your wake-up call. Your moment to break free. You've wasted enough time, enough money, enough energy chasing things that don't matter. Now it's time to chase what does, and it starts with what you do the moment that paycheck arrives. Not later, not someday, right now. You don't have to wonder how the wealthy think. You just have to look at what they do the moment they get paid. They don't spend emotionally. They don't seek comfort in consumption. They make decisions that multiply their money. That's not luck, that's intention, that's mindset, and it's a mindset anyone can build regardless of how much you earn. Wealthy people understand one thing very clearly: money is a tool, not a trophy. It's not for showing off, it's for building. Every dollar has a job, every cent is sent to work. While others are busy spending, they're busy planting seeds that grow into freedom, into choices. Into a life designed on purpose. They follow one powerful rule: pay yourself first, not after the bills, not after the shopping, first, because if you don't prioritize your future, no one else will. It's not just about savings, it's about respect. Self-respect. When you take the first slice of your paycheck and invest it in your future, you're telling the world, I matter, my future matters, my time matters. This is the opposite of what most people do. Most people get paid and immediately start reacting. Rent, bills, debt, impulses, stress spending. At the end of the month, they're shocked there's nothing left. But there's a reason nothing's left, because they gave it all away. Without intention, without discipline, without a plan. But you can flip the script. You can start owning your money instead of being owned by it. It begins with one simple shift. Move from consumer to creator. Stop asking, what can I buy? And start asking, what can I build? Stop living paycheck to paycheck and start living purpose to purpose. When money hits your account, you have a window, a moment of power. What you do in that window determines everything. Spend it mindlessly and you stay in the cycle. Invest it wisely and you start breaking out. It's not about making massive investments. It's about consistency, about choosing the long game over the quick fix. The people who win aren't always the smartest or the most educated. They're the most consistent. The most disciplined, the most intentional. They understand that wealth isn't one big decision. It's 1,000 small ones, and they don't wait to feel ready. They act even when it's uncomfortable, because they know every habit has a compound effect. The same $28 habit that keeps you broke can become the habit that builds your wealth. That money doesn't have to disappear into things you don't remember buying. It can be redirected, reclaimed, reassigned to something that pays you back. Imagine this: every time you get paid, you automatically take a portion and set it aside for your future. Not what's left over, the first slice. You don't see it, you don't touch it, it's already working for you. Over time, that small habit becomes a financial fortress, a safety net, a launch pad. You stop living in fear of the next emergency because you're prepared. You stop panicking about the future because you've already invested in it. And more importantly, you change how you see yourself. You no longer see money as something that controls you. You see it as something you control. That shift is everything, because when you believe you're in control, you act like it. You stop chasing shortcuts. You stop wasting time. You start showing up with purpose. You start making decisions that align with your vision, not your emotions. This is where real power lies, in the choices you make when no one's watching. In the moments when it would be easier to spend, but you choose to build. In the quiet decision to pay yourself first, even when it feels hard. That's what separates those who dream from those who do. Don't let your income define your destiny. Let your habits do that, because income can come and go, but discipline, once built, becomes unshakable. And when you combine discipline with a vision, there's nothing you can't create. This is your financial turning point, not when you earn more, not when you get lucky, right now, with the money you already have, with the power you already hold. Start by honoring your future before indulging your present. Start by seeing every paycheck as a vote for who you want to become. No one's coming to fix your finances for you. No one's going to build your future by accident. You've got to take the wheel. You've got to decide that enough is enough, that being broke isn't just about money. It's about the mindset that made it normal. But now you see it. Now you know better. And when you know better, you do better. Start today. Take control the moment you get paid. Make the first move in your own favor, because the only difference between someone stuck in the cycle and someone building their future is what they choose to do when the money lands in their hands. And you are one choice away from becoming unstoppable. You've come too far to keep living like your future doesn't matter. You've worked too many hours, sacrificed too much time, and endured too much stress to keep handing your power away every time you get paid. This is the moment where everything changes, not through luck, not through chance, but through a decision so simple, so powerful, it creates a ripple across the rest of your life. From now on, your paycheck isn't just income. It's instruction, it's fuel, it's a signal that you are not just surviving. You are capable of building something bigger than a routine. Every time you receive that money, you're holding a choice, and it's not about how much it is. It's about what you do with it, because direction is always more powerful than speed. If you're moving fast in the wrong direction, you'll just arrive at regret sooner. This is where most people get it wrong. They keep looking for more money, hoping that a higher salary will solve their problems. But if your habits don't change, more money will just become more fuel for the same broken patterns. It doesn't matter if you make $500 or $5,000. If you don't respect your money, it will vanish just the same. You don't need more. You need mastery. Mastery of your attention, mastery of your impulses, mastery of your mindset. That's where real wealth begins, not in the numbers, but in the discipline that shapes them. Because money flows where attention goes, and if your attention is scattered, driven by emotion, pressured by culture, you'll always feel behind. But once you become intentional, once you attach purpose to every dollar, everything shifts. You begin to realize that financial peace isn't something you buy later. It's something you build now. It's in the pause before the purchase. It's in the decision to delay gratification. It's in the courage to say, I don't need this right now, because I'm building something greater. And that greater isn't just wealth, it's freedom. It's the ability to wake up without the weight of stress sitting on your chest. It's the power to say yes to what matters and no to what drains you. It's knowing that your future is not some distant fantasy. It's a direct result of what you're doing right now. Start thinking long term. Not next week, not next month. Think in years, think in decades. That's how the successful live. That's how the free think. They're not obsessed with looking rich today. They're focused on becoming unstoppable tomorrow. While others are buying symbols of wealth, they're quietly building it. You're not falling behind. You're just waking up, and that awareness alone is powerful. Because once you see the trap, you don't walk into it blindly anymore. Once you feel the pain of living paycheck to paycheck, not because you're poor, but because your habits have been pulling you backwards, you can take the first real step toward change, and it starts with this question: are you building your future, or are you spending it? Because every dollar has a destination, it's either moving you forward or dragging you down. You get to decide, you always have, but you can't keep doing what most people do, acting like the future will take care of itself. It won't. It only changes when you do. From this moment on, you begin every financial decision with one thought: does this move me closer to freedom or further from it? That's the new standard. That's how you build a life of purpose, not pressure. That's how you break the generational curse of financial struggle and start a new story, one that doesn't end in regret. And you don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have all the answers. You just need to take control of one decision at a time. That's where transformation lives, not in information, but in action, not in intention, but in execution. Your financial future isn't shaped by what you hope for. It's shaped by what you do when no one's watching. So do it now. Don't wait. Don't delay until it feels easier or more convenient. That day will never come. There is no perfect moment to start. There's only the powerful moment you claim your future. This one. This is where you stop being a prisoner of your habits and start becoming the architect of your life. This is where you stop reacting and start building. Where you stop chasing temporary highs and start investing in permanent change. Because you deserve more than stress. You deserve more than just getting by. You deserve the freedom that comes from taking control. Not someday, not eventually, but right now. Your paycheck is no longer a moment of relief followed by a cycle of regret. It is your launch pad, your chance to rise, your opportunity to prove that you were never meant to live small, think small, or settle for less. It's time to rise with every dollar, to lead with every choice, to own your future with every step. And once you start, you'll never go back. You don't go back because once you taste control, chaos no longer feels comfortable. Once you see progress, stagnation becomes unbearable. And once you understand what your money can do, not just what it can buy, you realize how much potential you've been handing away for pennies on the dollar. It's not about guilt, it's about growth. You're not here to beat yourself up over what you didn't know. You're here to rise with what you now understand. And what you understand is this: you don't have to live like this. You don't have to feel stressed every time a bill shows up. You don't have to keep wondering where it all went. You can take the same money, the same energy, and point it in a new direction. A direction that leads to peace, to power, to purpose. You owe it to yourself to break the pattern, because patterns don't change until you change. You cannot keep feeding the same emotions and expect a different life. You cannot keep chasing momentary comfort and expect lasting results. You cannot keep making emotional decisions with financial consequences and expect freedom to follow. You've got to get serious, not later. Not after another mistake, now. You've got to draw the line and decide that from this moment forward, your money answers to your mission, not your moods. Every dollar must be given direction. Every paycheck must serve a purpose, and that purpose must align with the life you actually want, not the life you've been tolerating. Discipline isn't deprivation, it's elevation. It's choosing what you want most over what you want now. And while most people spend their lives reacting, you're deciding to respond, with intention, with clarity, with strength. That's the difference between someone who hopes for change and someone who creates it. The world will keep trying to pull you back into the cycle, into spending, into debt, into distraction. It will hand you every excuse to stay average, to stay comfortable, to stay quiet, but you didn't come this far to stay stuck. You came to break limits, to defy the narrative, to become the kind of person that no longer flinches when money is mentioned, but rises ready because you've done the work. You don't just need more knowledge. You need repetition, consistency, grit, the daily, unglamorous work of saying no to the small things that steal your future. That's what builds wealth, not the big moves, not the viral trends, but the daily grind of honoring your values when no one's watching. This is your real breakthrough, not a raise, not a promotion, but a new level of awareness, because once your mindset shifts, your money follows. Once your identity changes, your habits change, and when your habits change, so does your life. You're not just managing money anymore, you're managing momentum. You're building a rhythm that keeps you moving forward. You're stacking small wins that lead to massive breakthroughs, and the beauty of this journey is that it compounds. Every good decision multiplies, every sacrifice returns with interest. Every day you stay consistent, you inch closer to the version of yourself you were always meant to become. You've already done something most people never will. You've noticed. You've pulled back the curtain and seen how the small, quiet decisions carry the biggest weight, and now it's time to act like it. The next time you get paid, don't just celebrate, strategize. Don't just survive, structure. Set aside what belongs to your future first, not last. Make that the rule, not the exception. Build a system so solid your emotions can't shake it, and if you mess up, don't spiral. Reset, that's strength. That's maturity, that's growth. The goal isn't to live in restriction. The goal is to live in freedom, the kind of freedom where your choices aren't dictated by your debts, where your time isn't traded for survival, where your energy goes into creation, not stress. That kind of freedom is possible, but it's not handed out. It's earned in the unseen moments, in the ordinary days, in the consistent follow-through on the promises you make to yourself. So make the promise, right here, right now, that you will no longer give your future away for temporary comfort, that you will no longer let $28 decisions hold you hostage, that you will build wealth on purpose. And not just financial wealth, but mental wealth, emotional wealth, the kind of wealth that shows up in peace, in clarity, in control. You don't need to change everything overnight. You just need to change how you show up the moment your money arrives. That one shift done with conviction will change your entire life. This is your standard now. This is your new normal. This is the beginning of your financial revolution, and the best part, you're ready.